Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel and to another video. And in this particular video, I'm going to try to recreate some movie magic from the Harry Potter film series. And yeah, I'm going to show you how I did it. So let's crack straight on, shall we? Grab yourself a coffee, take a seat and enjoy. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. I hope you are all well. And yeah, so I've decided that I'm going to try to start a bit of a series on this channel, and it is going to be sort of quite simply to see if I can recreate some of the movie magic in popular films, you know, like Harry Potter, for example. And that is where I'm going to start. I'm going to start with a fantastic scene in The Prisoner of Azkaban, which is by far the best Harry Potter film that they ever made, and I'm willing to sort of discuss that with anybody in the comments. If you like a better film, let me know. But I think Prisoner of Azkaban is definitely the most enjoyable film out of the entire series, really. But there's a sensational scene, a wonderful little bit of camera trickery where the students, Harry Potter and all of his mates, are being taught about the BOGGART, whatever the creature is that sort of like takes the form of your most deepest, darkest fear. And they've got it in this wonderful mirrored sort of cupboard or wardrobe. And quite frankly, the camera is sort of facing the wardrobe and it is panning forward. And then it seems to sort of go through the reflection. And then all of a sudden the students are there and it carries on with the scene. And it's a wonderful piece of camera trickery. And mirrors are very, very sort of complicated when it comes to filmmaking. Filmmakers come up with sensational ways of trying to sort of counteract the mirrors that exist in our world, basically by using two-way mirrors or by using sort of like stunt doubles where they sort of mimic each other's movements. And this particular effect, when I had a bit of a look into how to recreate it, actually became quite simple. What I'm going to show you now is my little attempt to recreate such scene, and this is the final scene itself. So it looks okay, and the whole point of this is to try to expand my knowledge as a filmmaker, how to sort of make a better film and how to use the effects that I sort of know how to do it, but to put it into practice pretty much. And I did the whole thing on Premiere Pro, and I shot the entire thing in my little makeshift studio to sort of like show that even if you want to recreate such movie magic, you don't need the big sort of budgets and lights and camera equipment, anything like that, that a filmmaker can still succeed in making a good film without all of the sort of like over-the-top drama that comes with it. So let's not beat around the bush. Let's crack on to Premiere Pro and I will show you how I made this little scene. Now the scene in the movie is a nice simple two-shot setup. It is a shot which is moving towards the wardrobe itself, and it is a shot which is the reverse coming from the wardrobe onto the students of Hogwarts. And the effect is actually a lot simpler than what you might think. For it to go through the mirror, it simply is a green screen on the mirror surface instead of it being a reflection a little bit like this. And then all they done was key on the second shot of the camera moving towards the students as the reflection, and then just use a little bit of an effect as it went through the reflection itself. So that is what I'm going to try to set up within Premiere Pro. So here are my two shots. There is me shooting myself in the mirror, And then I've got the reverse shots of me acting my little heart out like I'm going through some personal trauma. And I put both these into Premiere Pro. So here we are in Premiere Pro, and what I needed to do was make this a green screen. Now my original thought was to try to get some fabric or a bit of paper and stick it onto the mirror, but I couldn't find anything that I was satisfied with. So what I ended up doing was coming over here and clicking on this little paper icon over here, and I went down to color matte, agreed to the settings, and then I just basically made a full green matte like that, which basically means when I brought that onto the next line, you have a full green screen. And then all I've done was go over to the effects controls, go down to mask, hit the little square icon, and then I just measured up into the corners like this. And there we go, I have my green screen on the mirror. Tied it up a little bit, and then I exported this particular clip out, and I ended up with this. Now, after I had this clip back into Premiere Pro, what I needed to do then was obviously get the acting clip, also bring that into my timeline, and then I wanted to use the Ultra key to key out the green. So I'm going to put that onto my mirror clip, go into effects controls, get the little eyedropper, and then click it on there like that. All I had to do then was go into my actors clip, which is below it, and then position it where I wanted it to be, just like that. So when it played, you quite clearly had me in the clip itself. Ideally, what I would want to have done is with the zoom in, obviously have the camera moving. But because I was only myself and no one else was here to help me, I had to add a couple of keyframes. So firstly, I went onto my mirror clip and I hit the stop buttons either side and created two little marks there. I went to the end and then I created two more where I wanted the clip to finish. So obviously I wanted it to be all the way out like that. And I did the same for my actors clip as well. So I went all the way to the beginning, made two keyframes, back to the end, and then positioned myself where I wanted to be at the end of it, which then would have given the impression that there was movement in the camera as it's going towards the mirror. So that was a little bit of a cheat. Ideally not the best cheat, but it worked with what I had on me at the time. And then of course I wanted to add a couple of effects. So as I was going through the mirror, I wanted it to look like it was going through the glass. So I went over to effects and I found the lens distort, and I just added a couple of markers, and then I rearranged it so it would move as I went through the mirror itself, to give you the illusion that I'm going through glass and now you are seeing my reaction as the camera is sort of coming towards me rather than it actually being sort of the reflection itself. To make that smoother, I add a cross dissolve on each end, and to also give a bit of an effect as well, I had this grunge effect, which is sort of like a paper grunge effect, because I wanted to make it look like that the mirror had some marks on it. I brought the opacity down to about 80, and then I put the blend mode into overlay so you could see through it, but then you could still see the sort of marks on the mirror. And then I just added a couple of keyframes as well to the scale. So I went all the way to the beginning, added a mark, and then all the way to the end and added another mark. So it would also give the illusion that it is moving with the mirror as I moved towards it as well. After that, I just threw an adjustment layer at the very, very top, played around with some of the settings to give it a bit of a light whitewash, cold color grade. And then I headed over to Epidemic Sound, found some nice sort of like sound effects like I always do. And then I added them on top and we ended with the final clip. And there we go. It's quite simple when you know how, really, isn't it? Like I've said before, I sort of know the technicality behind making some of these things. I know how to use my software and I know how to use green screens and how movie magic is made. But to put it into practice, to put it into sort of a way that I can actually do it myself, to have the confidence as a filmmaker, as a creator, to do these type of things. A year ago, I wouldn't even attempted to try to do something like this, but I'm gaining in confidence. I'm believing in myself that I can recreate such movie magic within the smaller budget. Now, is this scene perfect? No, it's not. It's quite clearly a little bit sort of rough around the edges, but that's okay. Like I said, you get the effects, you understand the effects, and you know, I think it passes for what it needs to do. So I'm happy with it. Can I improve? Most definitely. But that is the whole point of my process and anyone's process. Start off, keep going, keep moving, learn, get better. The only way you can do it. By sitting in your room and going, oh, I wish I could do that. Get out there and start doing it, because the more that you do it, the better at it you become. But I think next thing I now need to do is to write a film where I can use such an effect. So that's probably next on my agenda. But until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any other sort of movie scenes or movie magics that you'd like to give me to attempt, please hit them in the comments. Just down there, I'll be more than happy to look into them. And of course, if I can do them within my little space, I will be more than happy to give it a go. But if you've enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. And I am so close to my 1,000 subscribers, so I would love it if you would come along and join the team. And yeah, let's just keep on moving, keep on making movie magic. Until next time, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!